Hey everybody, I wanted to make you aware of the master review list that I have, simply because of the fact that apparently nobody uses the damn thing and keeps requesting games that I have already said I'm going to review, sometimes years ago, in fact, and it's getting kind of annoying having to just constantly repeat myself on that. So I'm going to try to make you guys aware once again of the fact that I maintain a list of every single game that has been requested, or outright reviewed, or had an MTO done of it or something like that. And before you request a title for reviewing, please do a Control F on there. That's the search function, in case you didn't know. That will look for the actual game in question. Just start typing the title in and it'll probably pop up, knowing how many games I've actually stuck on that list. It's quite a lot at this point, and that will tell you exactly what status it is, whether it has been accepted for reviewing, which is a game that I already own and I will be reviewing it at some point, whether it's something I have yet to pick up but I will be reviewing when I do pick it up, or whether it's something that has a very special condition surrounding it, which it'll say see other notes, and then you just scroll over to the right of the thing and it'll have a field denoting what's going on with that. Or whether it's outright denied, in which case I will not be reviewing it, and I give a reason for not wanting to review it, whether it be something like platform exclusivity, which is usually the case. For some reason, people really like requesting PlayStation exclusive games, even though they know I'll never actually do them. And other reasons include things like it being an MMO. Vast majority of MMOs I just won't play, one of the very, very few exceptions being Star Wars The Old Republic, because I can basically play it as if it's KOTOR 3 at this point. So that's basically what I'm doing with that. Or things like what is in the case of Battlefield Hardline, where the game is basically dying out and it's primarily a multiplayer game. Man, I looked at the player counts for Battlefield Hardline recently because it's on sale as I'm recording this video for about $12 if you get the standard edition. And I was considering picking it up just for reviewing purposes, but then I looked at the both battle log and the player counts under Battlefield Hardline stats, and the player count was basically maxing out around 3,300 on PC. For perspective, there's about 3,700 playing on Xbox 360 for Battlefield 3. That game came out 4 years ago, and there's still about 3,700 people playing it. Meanwhile, Battlefield Hardline came out last year, and it's already down to lower levels than Battlefield 3 on Xbox 360. To say nothing of the PC, which Battlefield 3 players on PC is about 3 times the amount of Battlefield Hardline players. But anyway, my point is that if this thing were like what you're seeing in this video, which is Far Cry 4, then I would be able to go through it because it would be primarily a single-player game, and the multiplayer, even though Far Cry 4's multiplayer is pretty much entirely dead at this point, I would be able to just kind of disregard it and be like, okay, yeah, the multiplayer is pretty much dead, but here's the game overall. Battlefield Hardline is primarily a multiplayer game, so there's really no reason to play it if you can only find 3 populated servers. And especially if you don't even know whether those 3 populated servers have any good game modes on them or not. So there's not really much reason for me to pick up Hardline, thus I'm not going to be bothering with it. And there are a couple of other games in the list that I have basically done reviews for within the list itself, because there's basically nothing at all to them, like Five Nights at Freddy's and the Slender series. So there's basically nothing to those games, so I just pretty much described them right in the See Other Notes section, and that's about as far as I would go for them. And then there's other things that I deny based on principle, where, for example, with Fallout 4, which I am beyond sick of you people pestering me about, by the way, but the principle with that one is that I am not giving Bethesda another cent for any of their games after Skyrim. That was the final straw. I picked up Battlespire and Redguard because they were prior to when Bethesda just completely crapped out on itself. But those are my last Bethesda purchases. I am not buying a single one of their games from here on out. Now, I should note that that only applies to Bethesda Game Studios, the guys who actually developed Oblivion, Fallout 3, Skyrim, and now Fallout 4. It only applies to those guys. Stuff that's published by ZeniMax under the Bethesda name, even though they didn't really have anything to do with it, like, say, Wolfenstein The New Order or Dishonored 2 and stuff like that. Since the only thing that has to do with those is that they're all under the ZeniMax wing, I still consider those fair game, because I don't have a beef with Arcane Studios or Machine Games or whatever. I have a beef with Bethesda Game Studios, and thus I refuse to buy any more of their games. Period. End of story. So there's my official stance on Fallout 4 for those of you who've been pestering me about it constantly for quite some time now. I'm not going to buy the damn thing, so don't expect a review. But anyway, the rationales for denying various reviews is going to be right in there, right next to where it says denied under the status. So it'll be quick and easy to look at those and figure out what the thing is. And in general, the review list is pretty easy to navigate. I specifically designed it so that it would give as much information as possible without being really overwhelming. So do me a favor before you start requesting reviews and such. Please consult the master list. I don't maintain the list just for my own uses. I maintain it so that everybody can take a look at it and find out very quickly and easily what I have reviewed, what I haven't reviewed, and what I plan on reviewing or what I don't plan on reviewing, so on and so forth. Anyway, thanks for putting up with that little mini rant, and I will catch you guys in later videos.